Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, video over. Just kidding, just kidding. Video's just starting. All right, guys, it's your boy, Thunderboy 2024, streaming to you live, as always, sitting in the dead of night, listening to the crickets chirp, filming a trash can, filming a dumpster in the dead of night. Why am I filming a dumpster? Because that is where this video is going as soon as I finish it. Oh my goodness, I can't use this. I can't post this. I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength. I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid of making even more enemies. I don't want to make any more enemies after that. After that Breaking Bad TV review. Oh my goodness, people did not like that. People did not like that. I have made so many enemies now. With my trash opinions, and here we are. Here I am making more enemies. Happy National Women's Equality Day. So this is not a joke. Long story short, just so you know, I film like 99%. I kid you not, 99% of my videos are totally unscripted, totally just off the cuff. I don't even plan anything. I just kind of roll the camera. I'm like, here we go, like stream of consciousness. Like here we go, just like what is in my head. Let's just film and talk for like whatever, 20 minutes. But this is the one time I scripted something. This is the one time I planned something. I planned this so far ahead. Okay, I always wanted to do this video. This changed my mind on this topic. I've wanted to do it for a while. Ever since I did the first change my mind on the video where I said, you know, is it okay for an adult man to have friends? So I took that crazy person, that Bruce guy's opinion. I defended it against you guys. Today, this is something I've always wanted to talk about. This is, I guess, today I'm the crazy person, chat. This is my opinion. So you can all fight me. This is my opinion. I'm not even playing devil's advocate. I'm just like giving my kind of 2 cents on the subject. But no, I've planned this for a while, and I was actually filming the video. I had to stop filming because I got a notification on my phone. I had no idea what today was. I had no idea. I get a notification on my phone, and it's like I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, oh my god, today the stars have aligned. I guess today is Women's Equality Day, National Women's Equality Day. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't. This is in bad taste. I can't. This is in trash taste. That's why I'm in front of a dumpster. Trash taste. I can't post this. I can't post this today. I'll make so many enemies. I'm about to get your boy's getting canceled finally. It's finally happened, chat. This is the video. Like, it's over. I don't know. Is this a sign? I'm taking this as a sign that I should I stop, or is this a sign that like I should proceed? You know, like the stars definitely aligned. Like, this is crazy. Like, I finally get around to filming this video I've wanted to film on this topic. Like, you know, is it okay for a man to hit a woman? And it just so happens it is Women's Equality Day. Like, that's crazy. I can't make that shit up. I'm taking it as a sign I should proceed. I'm gonna film this video, and then I'll throw it in the trash, and then that'll be that. But I need to get my thoughts out. So, where do we begin? So you know, you grew up in this country, right? And it's like there's no like actual law, you know, like I mean, obviously there's laws against, you know, assault and battery, you know. Like, you can't just go around punching people. Like that is a crime. That's assault. But I guess what I mean is, like, you know, like, let's say I assault someone, but yeah, I punch someone, but there isn't like a law saying that, like, oh, like you punch this person, but she's a woman and you're a man, so you know, this law says that you get death. You are executed by guillotine. You are sentenced to, you're exiled to our penal colony in Australia. Like, you know, there's no like law. It's just like an unspoken rule. Like I guess I'll call it like a social law. Like there are unspoken, universally recognized like social consequences. You know what I mean? Like you'll get ostracized like in society. Like, you know, there are social consequences for this, but it's like, and everybody knows. Like, everybody grew up knowing this. Everybody was taught this. You know, it's so in our society. It's so in our media. It's in all of our media we consume. Like this unspoken rule, right? So. Just one example, like a cartoon I grew up with as a kid. There's this episode of Hey Arnold that I, you know, vaguely remember. But like, long story short, Helga was like torturing Arnold like always. She's like bothering him, and he just, like, you know, he was having like, I guess, like a really rough day, and she was just like, you know, like even worse than usual. And I think she like poured like a can of paint on his head or something. And like, he like freaked out, and he like turned around and just grabbed the paint and he poured it on her head. You know, he did the same thing. Like it's like that schoolyard mentality. It's like, well, you did it to me, so I'm going to do it to you. But apparently the rules are different. Like, you know, you can't do that. And he told his he told his grandparents like what happened, and they're like, oh, what did you do? He's like, well, I did the same thing to her. And they're like, what? You did what? What? You can't do that. What? And he's like, what? Like, she did to me. Like, no, it's different. And, you know, she's a girl. It's different. You can't do that. And it's like, and this was the whole episode. I thought it was such bullshit. Even when I was a little kid, I was like, what is this? And it was like a whole thing. He had to like go and apologize to her, and you know, she had to forgive him. And I was like, that's bullshit. Like, where's her apology? Like, what? You know, oh, it's okay. She's a girl. You know, it's different. The rules are different. Okay. And I'm like, what? Isn't that like the opposite of equality? What do you mean the rules are different? Like, what? So let me break it down. Yeah, no. So like, obviously you all know this. I'm just kind of like, for the sake of argument, just like breaking it down. But like, let's give like a kindergarten situation. So like in kindergarten, I mean, obviously it's frowned upon, like when anyone hits anyone, right? But it's like, okay, a girl in a class hits a girl, and it's like frowned upon. A guy punches a guy in the arm, and it's frowned upon. But like, if a guy hits a girl, like, you know, that's like that record scratch, you know, holy shit moment. Like, everyone looks over, everyone's like, oh my god, everyone's like aghast, like, oh my god, like, what did you do? It's like unforgivable. It's like, oh my god, like, what did you do? Like, holy shit, you know. And it's just like, it's ingrained in our culture, in our society. It's like ingrained since like kindergarten. It's all of our media. Like, I grew up with this constantly, this like invisible and unspoken rule, like, just like bombarded onto me. And there's tons of more examples. I'm gonna give two more, more recent, like, that entertain. Like, I mean, there's movies that like kind of play with this idea that I find entertaining. So I'm gonna just mention that. So, real quick, one of my favorite movies of all time is in my top 5. It's called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love it. I love that movie. Please watch it. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. And there's also a Netflix animated continuation that's also very, very good. That came out like 20 years later. It came out like 20 years later, but no, it was great. It was great. But anyway, so like, long story short, the premise of that, like, Scott has to fight all of Ramona's evil exes, but it gets complicated because one of her exes, Roxy, the ninja girl, Roxy, is a girl. And Scott is like, I mean, he does, and it's funny the way they portray it. I'm like anti-violence. I'm a pacifist, chat. I'm a pacifist. I don't think anyone should hit anyone. But this is a movie, okay? It's fiction, and it was done in a funny way. But like, Scott, like, you know, he doesn't know. All he sees is like a figure, and so he punches. And, you know, he accidentally punches her chest, he punches her boob, and you know, it turns out to be a girl. And she's like, what the hell, dude? You know, you punched my boob. And it was funny. But like, yeah, he got like a pass because like he didn't know it was a girl. And then when he knows it's, you know, then when he has to fight Roxy, he's like, oh my god, you know, and he's like, I can't do it though. And then Ramona like is like, all right, you know, oh my god, you know, and so she fights Roxy and beats her up. But then Roxy's like, no, it doesn't count. Like Scott has to beat me. Like, you can't fight his battle for him. And then Scott's like, well, I can't fight a girl. And Ramona's like, well, I can't, you know. And she does this thing where she like kind of grabs his arms and like puppeteers him. So it's like it's like a weird thing. I mean, again, it's played for laughs. It's funny, but it's like there's like a weird, like, oh, it's like a loophole. Like he does, you know, he beats her, so it counts. But like, he didn't punch her. Like, it was like Ramona punching Roxy using Scott's fist, so like, it's okay. You know, Scott was just like, you know, a weapon that Ramona used to punch Roxy. I don't know. But then shouldn't it still not count because Ramona's the one that punched out Roxy? I don't know. It's goofy. But yeah, no. And then there's another movie with Jet Li, Romeo Must Die, where he has to like fight like this. You know, he's like fighting henchmen, but like one of them is revealed to be a chick, and he's like, oh, you know, I can't fight a girl or whatever, you know. And then it's the same thing. It's like the same exact scene because his like love interest or whatever is there, and she's like, all right, fine, well, I can, you know, just like do what I do, you know. And she like kind of gets behind him and puppeteers him, and like they have like a little fight, and so she beats up the girl using him, and it's like, okay, you know, it's ridiculous. No, it's played for laughs, but like, you know, like it is like that though. It's like, oh, like, even in that situation, even in like an action movie or like, you know, it wouldn't be acceptable. Like, it wouldn't be acceptable for like Scott to just like beat up this, you know, evil female character. Like really? Like, seriously? Like how far does this like little rule go, man? Like, again, it's like it's one thing where like it's unprovoked or it's like out of nowhere or it's like you're the aggressor, but like if she's the aggressor and you're like defending yourself or whatever, or it's like it's like combat. You know, like what the hell? You know, it's like, how far does it, you know, I think it's ridiculous. I really do. I don't get it. Like I get it in the sense that I don't know how do I put this. Let me how do I put this? So like the consensus, like the general idea or rule of thumb or whatever, like the general thing here is like, it's not right because in general guys are stronger than girls. Okay, so like if a guy hits a girl, it's just in bad form. Like everyone will instantly be on her side and kind of ostracize you and and punish you, and you'll face consequences because it's not fair. You're stronger than her, so it's not right for you to hit her. But she can hit you because she's weaker or perceived to be weaker, and that's fine. And you can't defend yourself. You can't defend yourself. It's. I mean, here's what I say to that. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but like, well, first of all, like that's so like conditional, because like yeah, maybe your average man is bigger and stronger than your average woman, but what about like frickin', like it's so ridiculous. Like let's just pretend we're again, we're going to extremes here, but I'm making a point. Like Ronda Rousey, right? Her, like, she's a woman. She's a female MMA fighter. Like, she's really freaking strong, and like, she weighs a considerable amount. It's like all muscle. And then there's your boy, slender boy. I don't work out at all. I'm a weakling. I'm a weak little twig. And you look at my name. I'm a slender boy. I'm a weak little twig. She can hit me. She can beat the shit out. She could beat the shit out of me in a fight. Like, there's no question. I have no issue like admitting that. There's like there's like the stigma. It's like, oh, you got beat by a girl. Like, you got beat by. No, I got no, I got beat up by Ronda Rousey. you know what I mean? Like you're putting like the gender before the person, and I don't think that's cool, man. It's like, yeah, no, I mean, no, I didn't get beat up by a girl. I got beat up by Ronda Rousey. So it's like, yeah, if Ronda Rousey attacked me, well, A, I would lose anyway, but B, like, yeah, I'm gonna defend myself, and I'll still lose, but like. Even in, so you're saying, and I know what the reaction would be. Like, it would still be like, oh, but you can't hit her, like she's a girl and you're a guy. It's like, no, that's no bueno. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Like, she's stronger than me. Like, what do you there's so many examples of that, of something like that. But anyway, I just but anyway, what I say to that is, I would draw a similar comparison where it's like, oh, well, Mike Tyson, or anything will do, but like, I'm just saying, like, okay, Mike Tyson, bigger and stronger than me, right? But like, and if he fought me, it wouldn't be fair, right? But like, why doesn't that apply? Like, that doesn't, like, there isn't that rule. It's like, if I went up to Mike Tyson and I punched him, he is gonna punch me back, and it'll probably kill me. It'll probably destroy my head, destroy my face. But it's like, there's no rule saying he can't do that. We're both guys. It's fine. Everything's equal, apparently. Like, we're both guys, so, like, it's all good. But it's like, it's the same idea. It's the same idea where it's like, it's such a colossal difference in power where it's not fair. And so he shouldn't be allowed to hit me, right? But it's like, so there's examples of that within the same gender, right? Just as easily as, like, man versus woman. Well, there's, like, I don't know. It's like, and it's like, okay, like a woman could hit a man kind of with, like, this immunity, because it's like, oh, well, he can't hit me back because it wouldn't be fair because he's stronger than me. But it's like, yeah, but like, like you have to have, I have no sympathy, because it's like, you have to have the common sense. Like no one would have sympathy for me if I went up to Mike Tyson or any guy that's like twice my size and twice my strength and punched him. It's like, yeah, like you shouldn't go picking fights that your ass can't catch. It's like, it's the same idea. It's like, yeah, like if you're like a 90-pound woman, then you should know that you shouldn't go around hitting guys that are 200 pounds and will completely destroy you with one blow. It's like, it's called common sense. It's called common sense. I don't know why this rule exists. It's like, it's silly. It's really silly the more you break it down, and that's why those movies I brought up, like, they play with it and they're funny about it, but like, again, it is like a stupid rule. It is like a stupid. Like, again, like if Scott just like beat up Roxy in that movie, even though she attacked him first, like, people would have an issue, and it's stupid. It's really stupid. I don't know. Even though she's like a trained ninja, and he's just like a guy. he's a slender boy too. You ever see Michael Cera? He's like 90 pounds too. You know, like she has the edge on him weight wise. Like, you know, but like you know, he's a man. She's a woman. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. The gender police are gonna come after me and throw me in this dumpster right here. Anyway, but no, like let me give like a more recent like real life example. Okay, let me give a more recent like real life example because this got me thinking. I saw this like a couple months ago, and it's always like this like story always stuck with me. So I wanted to share this and see what you all think. Obviously, I'm gonna change the names. I don't, you know, I'm already under enough fire, so I'm changing the names. I don't want like anyone involved in this dumpster fire of a video except me. Your boy's going down. I don't want to take anyone else down with me. but okay, so there was a situation. There was a bunch of us, like a huge group of us actually in this like auditorium, like hanging out, like, you know, watching bad movies and shit. And a friend of mine who is male, let's just call him Rufus Shinra. Okay, so Rufus Shinra, like he goes up. just hang tight. Just stay with me. Rufus Shinra goes up with his podium and he's like doing his thing. And then there's this girl. I don't know. I seriously, I don't know what the, like, I don't know what was going on there. Like seriously, it did kind of make me think of like a Hey Arnold situation. Like, you know how Helga always gives Arnold hell, and it's because she, you know, secretly likes him, or I don't know what was like going on there. But like this girl always gave this guy hell for some reason. But anyway, she was like being particularly bad. Like he's up on the podium, he's like trying to do something, and this girl, let's just call her, we're gonna call her Tifa Lockhart. So we got Rufus and Tifa. Can't talk. Rufus and Tifa. Okay, let's just, you know, call them Rufus and Tifa. See if you can get this obscure. It's a very obscure PlayStation 1 RPG. I don't know if you've heard of it. Okay, I'm not even gonna say the name because it's not even worth looking up. But like, yeah, it's a very obscure PS1 RPG. Anyway, so we got Rufus and Tifa. So Rufus is trying to do this thing. Tifa goes up to him, and she just like full on slaps him in the face, like full on, like no punches pulled. You know, hits him. And he's, you know, understandably, he's like, you know, what the hell, and she's just like, it's like a game to her. She's like laughing, and seriously, I mean, this is just an example. I know women take advantage of it. Women take advantage of this unspoken rule. You cannot deny it. You cannot deny it. But she knows, like, she can just like slap him, and like, what's he gonna do? Like, he can't hit her back. Like, it's not allowed. And it's like a fun game to her because she's like, you know, I'm just gonna say she's like a little sadistic at this point, but she's like laughing at the whole situation. Slaps him. And you know, then she, pretty, you know, right quick, like right after, hits him again, slaps him in the face again, and he's just trying to do his thing. He's like trying to ignore her, but again, like someone is just like slapping you in the face, you know, it hurts. Like even though he's a man, you know, like it still hurts. Like, whether you're male, female, again, today's about equality. Like getting slapped hurts, you know. Just ask Chris Rock. Like getting slapped hurts, you know. But like, yeah, you know, man, woman, whatever, like getting slapped in the face hurts. But yeah, she slaps him twice. Slaps him. Like, he can't ignore her. He like asked her to stop, very politely. He's just like, you know, I don't know what's, you know, seriously, like that hurts. Can you stop? And she just keeps doing it. She does it like a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. He's like freaking out. He's just like, you know, like lost all composure, but he's still like trying to like, you know, use his words as we have been taught to do, as we men have been taught to do in this situation. We're just supposed to kind of stand there and take it because we can't hit back. And he's just like, you know, seriously, like, you know, stop it, knock it the fuck off, you know, stop it. And she's just laughing. It's a fun game to her. And it's like the sixth time. No, I think it was, believe it or not, it was coincidentally the seventh time. It was the seventh time. Yeah, she did slap him 7 times. Interestingly enough, Tifa hit Rufus. She slapped Rufus 7 times. The 7th slap, he kind of had that Hey Arnold moment, like that Arnold moment. He just had enough. Like she wouldn't stop, and so he turns around and he slaps her, and, you know, no punches pulled. He just full on, you know, backhands her, and she goes down like because her blows were hurting him. Like his cheeks are red, but like he's not, you know, he's still standing, but like, no, he ended it. He ended it right there. He turns around, backhands her. She goes flying. She goes, you know, lands on her rump. She's on the ground, and like everyone sees it. Everyone who saw it, again, it was like that record scratch moment, and everyone was like, "What the hell did you do? You know, what the fuck, man?" Like, you know, everyone instantly takes her side. and she's all like crocodile tears, like she's instantly like, oh, how could you, kind of like Helga and that Hey Arnold, but she's like, oh my god, and she's like totally stunned, not even from like the physical blow. I mean, like it really, it knocked her back, but like I'm sure it didn't hurt her that much, but like no, it was more of the shock of like. It was like you saw it on her face. It was like learning, it was like when you learned that Santa Claus wasn't real. She like had this like look like, oh my god, he can hit me back. Like what? Society said this could not be. This could not happen. and so Tifa is like in shell shock. Rufus is like it's funny because like he did stand up to her. But then, like a microsecond later, he just like folded. He's just like, again. I'm sorry, I keep going back to that Hey Arnold. No, it was like the Hey Arnold episode. He ran over and he apologized. He was like instantly like, oh my god, I don't know what came over me. Like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm like, and much like the Hey Arnold, I was like in the bleachers. I was just kind of like, no, she should apologize to you. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the hell? Like, what? You only hit her once. She hit you like 7 times. But it's like, no, it is forbidden. It is forbidden. The secret gender police are coming. Like, it is forbidden. Man cannot strike woman. It is written. Where is it written? Where is it written down? Somewhere. Is it in this dumpster somewhere? Someone did some graffiti inside of my dumpster. I'll check later. Anyway. So yeah, I mean that's a more recent example. I thought it was so ridiculous. Again, it's like. I get the, I get the gist of it. I get the reason why we have this rule. I get it. But there are so many times, like the example I just showed you, where people take advantage of this rule, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how everyone will just instantly side with Tifa in that situation over Rufus when I think Rufus was in the right. It's just. I'm sorry. I need to kind of, need to just, I gave my 2 cents. Like, what do I think? I think the rule is bullshit. I mean, first of all, no one should hit anyone. That's my rule. Just don't hit anyone. Like, I don't like violence. But I mean, there's exceptions. So I guess that's my kind of like my main thing is like, should a man hit a woman? Well, I mean, I'm making this video, so I kind of need to really be careful and just kind of things that I think are obvious are not obvious. Like I kind of need to spell things out, but it's like obviously I am anti-domestic violence. Okay, like we have so many stories. Of course people are going to bring up we have so many stories. Boyfriends hitting girlfriends, husbands hitting wives. That's not cool. Obviously I'm not okay with that. Okay, I oh my god, I don't want this to become a thing where I just like mention The Sopranos for no reason in every video, but like I have to bring up, Christopher Moltisanti was one of my favorite characters. He would always beat the shit out of Adriana, and it was so hard to watch. He would like give her black eyes, he would choke her, and like that is not okay. That is not okay. Like that always really bothered me, even though he's my favorite character. Somehow I was able to look past that, but no, like that obviously. So that's not, but that is just one situation. That's one scenario, and as I was saying, I gave you a couple other scenarios in this video. But like, yeah, no, I don't think that unprovoked or without reason a man should just hit a woman, obviously. But there are clear exceptions to this rule that we need to be cognizant of, and that we need to recognize, and that we need to be reasonable about. Again, it's just crazy to me. It's like this isn't rocket science. Like if someone were to attack me, if someone were to try to mug me right now, in the dead of night, has like a knife or whatever, or like a baseball bat, like I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's going on, like down south. Like I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It's like you're attacking me. Like I'm gonna defend myself. Like that's crazy. It's crazy that like I would even like pause to like think about it. Like oh. I'm struggling with my attacker, and the hood falls off, and it's a woman, and I'm like, oh, well, this changes things. Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Are you kidding me? No. But yeah, so like self-defense, and again, I already outlined situations where it's like, I mean, again, it's like the strength difference. That's what people are focused on. Let's focus on that. Like, it's the strength difference. If like Ronda Rousey, I keep going back to Ronda Rousey, like, yeah, it's totally fine for me to fight Ronda Rousey. I'll probably lose, you know. And it shouldn't be like, oh, you know, she's a girl, like, you know, haha, you lost to a girl. It's like, no, I lost to Ronda Rousey, like a trained athlete, like an amazing athlete. You know, I should be honored to get my ass kicked by Ronda Rousey. You know, stop putting the gender first, put the person first. That's the thesis of this video. You know. Anyway, let me just calm down. Let me just stop like blabbing and let me look at the chat. I'm so afraid. Let me look at the chat. So yeah, so people are listening. People are not like jumping on me like I thought they would. People are listening. Here we go. Okay, I'll read it. I'm reading everything, so I'm just, you know, every opinion is valid in Slender Boy's videos. Ralphie C. Oh, Ralphie C showed up. So here we go. So he's just going off. He's just saying, you know, I I can't do it. You know, he's just like, you know, I beat women all the time. You know, how else do you keep them in line? You know, I beat my wife all the time. Beat all my girls. And it's like, no, that's not cool. No. I mean, I know he's trolling. He's just a troll. He's not serious. But no. I already said it. No, that is the scenario where I do agree with the rule. No violence, okay? No domestic violence, please. Okay? It's not cool. Okay? Let's read something else. Anything else? Susan. Oh, thank God, Susan's here. Slender Boy, I am afraid I have to strongly disagree with your point of view. Women are the future bearers of our children, and we must never raise a hand. Never, ever, ever should a man strike a woman, because she may very well one day be the bearer of a future child, and it is not right. I mean, I didn't really think of it that way. I didn't really see it that way. That's an interesting point of view, Susan. I don't want to discount your opinion. Like I just threw Ralphie's out the window because he's an obvious troll. You know, that's one point of view. Let me kind of, because this video is already going on way too long. Let me kind of transition here. Here's the real thing. Here's why I really wanted to post. I'm revealing myself now, my final form, just like Frieza. Final form. Here we go. The real reason I wanted to talk about this is I want to bring up something else entirely. Well, not entirely, but like something that's like, you know, there are these 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I really your boy reveals himself as a secret weeboo. Yeah, no, I'm a huge DBZ fan. So you can watch Dragon Ball Z on Crunchyroll. That's how I watch it, at least. There are so many options. But anyway, look up these 2 episodes. The 2 episodes I'm talking about in particular, it's much later in the series. Episode 216, A Dark and Secret Power, followed by episode 217, Videl is Crushed. Okay, these 2 episodes feature a very controversial, much talked about fight. It's often people say it's like the most brutal fight, the most brutal beatdown in Dragon Ball Z. That's cap. That is not true. But it is a very infamous, you know, difficult to watch brutal fight where Videl fights Spopovich in this martial arts tournament. And yeah, and obviously we have some gender politics here. I mean, he's a man. He is a very strong man, a big man. You know, huge man. He's very muscular. He's powered by Babidi's magic, and his opponent is, you know, a female. Well, I mean, she's a fighter, but she is indeed female. Gohan's girlfriend. He taught her, you know, some tricks. He taught her how to fly and all that, and they fight. Let me. I mean, I have a lot I want to say, but yeah, definitely watch those 2 episodes and tell me what you think. Because I have always had strong feelings about these 2 episodes. I realize I'm already approaching 30. I'm going to go a little bit over because, again, I just really want to talk about... Here's the real reason I made this. I just want an excuse. I want to talk about DBZ. All right, very convoluted excuse. I just want to talk about DBZ and my thoughts on these 2 episodes. You know, it's you know, it is like articles were written about this. Like everyone did like reaction videos. Like a lot of people are still talking about these 2 episodes to this day. So like I want to give my 2 cents, and it's relevant to our topic at hand. But anyway. So let me address, people are like, oh, it's like the most, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's violent, it's bloody, like, it's hard to watch at times, but, so is Dragon Ball Z, period. I don't know if, like, people will just, like, only watch those 2 episodes and forgot everything else, like, for real, it's like, especially early Dragon Ball Z, like, did y'all forget, like, did you all, like, forget when like Nappa fought everybody and how like insane that got. Like oh shit, it's been so long, but like what happens? Like he's so strong. Like there you go. There's like it's a bunch of dudes, but there's like a clear power difference. Like shouldn't he not be allowed to hit any of them? Like there's a power difference there. Anyway, he punches. He does something where, like isn't it something like he like punches Tien. He punches his arm so hard it like breaks off at the stump or something. It's so violent. It's like, oh my, and he's like, you know, suddenly he's like just missing his arm and like, oh my god. And then like Chaozu, this was so disturbing because Chaozu, I don't know if he's like actually a child, but he's like he's very small and childlike. But anyway, Chaozu gets on Nappa's back and like it's all he can do. He's like, well, you know, this is all I can do, and he just like blows up. He like self-destructs. So you see a child blow himself up just to try and take down Nappa, and then Nappa's just like, yeah, he like shrugs off. He's like, ah, whatever, you know. Yeah, no, that was brutal. That was very brutal. Like, oh my, like there's plenty of brutal fights in DBZ. Like, are you kidding me? Like that's what triggered you? Like that's what you like couldn't handle is Videl fighting Spopovich? Like get out of here, man. Like this popped up in my feed the other day. I was like watching a clip on YouTube. Like I forgot. It's been so long since I watched the Frieza saga. But like just go on YouTube and find the clip of like Vegeta versus Final Form Frieza. Like holy shit, I forgot how hard that went. I forgot how like intense that was. Like Frieza is just playing like Vegeta has lost, and it's just and it's like so different because like in all these fights. Oh, and like another one I forgot. Look up Gohan. You know, again, it's so disturbing with Gohan because he's a little kid. He's like literally a little kid, but Gohan fights Recoome from the Ginyu Force. Like Recoome like kicks him so hard he basically breaks Gohan's neck, and Gohan's just like on the ground twitching for like an episode. Like it's so brutal. It's so brutal. So like yeah, DBZ's full of shit like that. Like I don't know why. I mean, again, I know why, because it's like, oh well, this man fought this girl and he like beat her up, and it's like, you know, that's no bueno. And it's like, yeah, I know, but like I don't know, man. It's I don't know. Like it's there's way worse things in that show in my opinion. But yeah, no. Again, like watch that clip of Final Form Frieza fights Vegeta. He just has his arms full. Like it's such a it's such a power difference. Like it's a beatdown. Like Vegeta gets curb stomped. Frieza has his arms folded, and he's just using his tail, and he has Vegeta in like a bind, and he's like choking him, and he's just like, you know, throwing him around and like beating the shit out, like punching him in the same spot 25 times, and Vegeta, it was and like I forgot like Vegeta's blood gets on Frieza's face, and Frieza just like licks it off. Like, oh, it's so brutal. It's so brutal. And the worst, like one of the worst parts, like Frieza has this like gangster moment where like because there's people nearby. It's like Krillin and Gohan and Piccolo. They're just like watching in horror as like, you know, the strongest one in their group at that time is getting demolished, and all they can do is watch. And Frieza even calls him out. He's like beating the ever-loving hell out of Vegeta. And he like turns to them. He's like, oh yeah, you know, you like feel free to like join in and like save your friend. Like feel free. You want if you would all like to attack me at once, like go ahead. And like they just don't. they just like step back. They just like no, you know. not very heroic. They're you know, but like, you know, it made sense. Like they literally can't do anything. So why die for no reason? You know, they're waiting for Goku to like come and save everyone, and like, but it was so brutal and so raw, and it was just like, oh, you know, Frieza calls them out. He's like, yeah, no, come on, step up, and it's like, no, you go on and torture our friend. That's fine. We're just gonna stand here and watch. I think that's like the most brutal beatdown in DBZ by far. But that, you know, that's just my opinion. But anyway. But yeah, I have to say a few things about Videl versus Spopovich. Again, like, yeah, I rewatched it recently. Like it is pretty brutal. It is, you know. But again, I wouldn't. How do I put this? It's not. How do I put this? It's not because it's a man versus a woman. It's because of the power difference, which I mean, yeah, I know that's kind of inherent to some people where it's like, oh, but that, you know, but like, so, and I people are gonna like, and people even, you know, made jokes like, oh, you know, like Spopovich is like the real feminist, or, you know, he believes in gender equality because he beats the shit out of Videl. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying, like, what I am saying is, like, I think it's wrong I think, you know, Spopovich is, you know, he's obviously a villain. He works for the bad guys, and like, yeah, he took it too far. He really took it too far. But like, I don't think it was for any reasons related to like sexism or, you know, misogyny. Like people were gonna kind of watch that and be like, oh, like, you know, like the show is sexist, or Spopovich is sexist, or, you know, this and that. And that's where I think, you know, you guys go too far if you say that, where it's like show me where it's like his like his motivation is not, you know, there's nothing in the show to suggest that like he's being this way with her because she's a woman, because, you know, he's like, oh, you know, if there was a moment where it was just like, you know, whatever, he's like, you know, in some way he gives away, he's like, oh, well, oh, I'm fighting a woman, okay, now I'm like really gonna like beat the shit out of her. Like, it seems like, you know, he was just a bad person. He was a sadistic, you know, fighter anyway. Like, even a man or woman, he would have just beaten her the same, you know. That's the sense that I got, at least. So like, I don't think her gender had anything to do with it. Like, she was, and like, obviously, you know, it's a martial arts tournament, and they're both martial artists, so like, let's like, can we just throw out that dumb rule again where it's like, oh, well, I mean, like what's he supposed to do? You know, you're not gonna be like, okay, well, you know, he has to like surrender because you know, he can't throw a punch because, you know, he's fighting a girl, and he's not a girl, he's a guy. No, like that's completely stupid. Like that's dumb, but I don't know. Like that. No, I like that's not a thing. Like, they're both more like and that's people like, how do I put it? Because you know, he's winning, he's beating the crap out of Videl, and like Gohan's freaking out, and he's gonna interfere, and Goku actually stops him, and everyone got mad at Goku for doing that. But what you have to understand, like, I understood, I got it, because it's like, in that moment, like, Goku was respecting her, like again, no, he's not seeing gender, like, he's gender blind. Like, Goku is just like, okay, dude, Videl's a fighter like me, and I know that I wouldn't want anyone to dishonor me by interrupting my fight. Like, so if she wanted her help, she would have asked for it, and she didn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, Goku is being the most, like, you know, gender equality minded person in the group, where he's just like, no, she's just, it's not that she's a woman, it's just she's a fellow fighter, and she has not requested help. She wants to fight her own battles, so like, let her. And it's like, yeah, he just saw her as a fellow warrior. And so, like, I mean, that's how I took it, you know. And it's just like, yeah, like she's a martial artist, she can, you know, make her own decisions, and she chose to fight this guy. And even though, I mean, she was stupid, like, that's why I'm sorry, like, I know everyone feels bad for her. I felt a little bad for her, but it got harder and harder to feel bad for her, because it was becoming more and more obvious that there was no chance she would win, and she should really just, like that's the other difference. Like, all these other fights, Gohan versus Recoome, Vegeta versus Frieza, all these other fights, it was a fight for their lives. It wasn't a martial arts tournament. They couldn't just leave or just, like, surrender, right? But, like, this was a fight. This was a fight in a tournament where she could just give up. There were no stakes. There were no stakes at all. Like, the only stake was, like, she wanted to win the tournament. She wanted to, like, you know, do her father proud or whatever. And so she couldn't give up, because she's like, well, no, I can, you know, and like, everyone's telling her, like, you know, like, seriously, just like, it gets harder and harder to watch, because she's so stupid, she's so stubborn, she just, like, won't give up, you know, she won't give up, and it's like, becomes clear and clear that her blows are not dealing damage. And everyone, even the ref, like, he, you know, he's supposed to be objective, but, like, even the ref, multiple times, he's like, you know, I'm not supposed to take a side, but, are you sure you don't want to just, like, give up? He's just, like, he does it, like, multiple times. He's like, yeah, you know, you don't seem to be, like, you know, doing any damage to him. Do you want to, you know, maybe give up, maybe throw in the towel, you know? I mean, the thing that killed it for me was, like, he actually, you know, he punches her, and she goes flying out of the ring, and she's about to lose anyway, and he grabs her and throws her back into the ring to show that, like, and in that moment, it's like, yeah, he is not going to let you lose. You know what I mean? It's like it's clear that, like, he's just gonna, you know, torture you and, like, use you as his punching bag. It's time to give up, and there was nothing stopping her from just giving up. That's why I, like, can't sympathize. It's like, just give up. Like, seriously, like, it's past the point where you even have any chance at all. There's nothing riding on this. Like, there's literally nothing riding on this. It's an annual martial arts tournament. Just surrender train and come back next year. Like, just come back next year. Why are you doing this? Why are you letting him just like mop the floor with you over and over and over and over again? Like nothing's working, Videl. You know. And I have to say something else. Everyone forgets this, but like, you know, and again, I'm not like trying to totally defend Sobopovich. Like he's a bad person. Don't get me wrong. But like everyone forgets this. Everyone like whitewashes this and throws this under the bed rug. But at first they were fighting kind of as equals. At first he was not being sadistic at all. And what happened was she was actually the first one who crossed the line. Okay, everyone forgets. Videl. So she kept on like hitting him, and he kept on falling down, and he kept on getting up, and it wasn't working. And even then, she should have like kind of known, like, okay, this isn't working. Maybe I should just give up. But she got clearly she got frustrated, and she kind of lashed out, and she kind of kicked him in the head too hard, and it spun his freaking head around and broke his neck. Or you know, if he was like a normal person, it would have broken his neck and killed him instantly. And even the ref starts to talk, and he's like, oh, you know. I mean, she defeated him, but she used deadly force, and so she's disqualified, and she's, like, kind of on her knees, like, oh my god, you know, what have I done? So she crossed the line first, and then he gets up and, like, you know, twists his head around, because he has Babidi's magic. He's basically a zombie at this point, and, you know, and like, at that point, it's like, girl, like, just give up, like, surrender. What are you doing? Like, he's a zombie, like, you cannot win. He just twisted his head back around. Like, what are you doing? Like, give up, you know. But and that's kind of like just like the start of the second half of their fight. And she's like, no, it's all good. I got this. I still got. It's like, girl, if she at least had like a she didn't even have like a strategy. She was just like, no, I'll just keep on punching and kicking, even though that obviously doesn't work on him. You know, it was frustrating to watch. I did not feel bad for her. I'm sorry. He would punch her and he'd send her flying. She'd be like, oh, ow, and it's like, no, like just give up. Like, why can't you say, I give up? You know, say those 3 words and this is all over. It's just a dumb martial arts tournament. It doesn't matter. You can come back next year. You can come back next year and fight someone else that isn't a zombie, you know. But yeah, she crossed the line first. Like, she basically killed, or would have killed him. And it was at that point where he was kind of like, okay, you know, all bets are off. Like now I'm going to, like, cut loose myself. And even then, he like didn't totally cut loose, because if you remember, he only used an energy blast the one time, and like, you know, it like totally, you know, destroyed her. like she was not doing so great after that, and like everyone was like, oh, you know, everyone in the audience was like, oh, thank God, like his energy wave wasn't that powerful. And then Goku was like, oh no, like he clearly was holding. Like, Goku could tell. He's like, oh no, like he knew it would have killed her. Like he was holding back. And he never uses that blasting because he knows it was like too much. So even like, you know, again, I'm not defending him. I'm not like, you know, I'm just saying it's like, no, like he actually, believe it or not, was holding back. Like even when he was like destroying her, he was holding back because he was like doing his best not to kill her. I don't know, because he respected the rules kind of more than her, because she just like lashed out and twisted his neck around. You know, oh my god. Anyway. Where am I going with this? Anyway, but yeah, that was like an example I always like thought of that people would like bring it up as like, oh, it's so sexist. Like he beat up this girl. I'm like, I mean, no, I'm sorry, but no. Like he was an opponent and she was an opponent, and they were fighting in a martial arts tournament. Like, yeah, he was like, you know, again, it's like, yeah, he uses excessive force, but there was nothing sexist about it. He was just, you know, a villain. You know, just like beating someone up more than he should have, because he was a bad guy, you know. Oh, okay. Someone showed up in the chat. Clearly a DBZ fan. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo 69. He had something to say. He makes a good point. Basically, he's saying when Spopovich was human, you know, before he received Bobidi's magic, when Spopovich was human, he was beaten by Mr. Satan and humiliated. So his motivation was he wanted to get back at Mr. Satan by beating up and humiliating his daughter in the tournament. Oh, okay. See, there you go. That makes sense. So that was his motivation, is he wanted revenge on Mr. Satan, and he was going to beat the shit out of Mr. Satan's offspring. You know, there it is right there. Like, it's clearly, gender had nothing to do with it at all. Like, yeah, she was his daughter, but like if it was his son, it would be the exact same thing. Like, he would have done the exact same thing. Like, no difference at all. He's like, oh, like, you're the child of Mr. Satan? Okay, I'll beat the shit out of you and, like, hurt him that way for, you know, get him back for humiliating me. Literally, yeah, so her gender literally had nothing to do with it. So I just get annoyed where people keep on bringing that up as like a focal point. It's like, no, her gender had like nothing to do with it. Okay, she was like another Z fighter. She was another fighter in an action show, fighting in a tournament, and her opponent, like, you know, used martial arts on her excessively, I'll admit, but like, you know, there was nothing there of like, oh, you know, this is like, you know, whatever, misogynistic. No, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. You know, he literally treated her the same way he would have treated, you know, a male opponent, Mr. Satan's son. He would have done the exact same thing. So yeah, there you go. People are just making jokes now. People are just like, oh yeah, equal rights, equal lefts. Yeah, he Spopovich, really, he's the true believer in gender equality, you know. Oh goodness. Okay, this video went on way too long. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the subject. I will probably delete this. This is very poor timing on my part. And I had a very hot take. I made too many enemies already. I'm making even more enemies by saying that men should be able to beat up women. No, I'm not saying men should be able to beat up women. I'm saying in certain situations, like if it's a martial arts tournament, or if someone is slapping you 7 times in the face, like, yeah, you defend yourself. Like, no holding back, no qualms, no like hesitation. Like, oh, should I defend myself? Should I stop myself from being mugged? I mean, my mugger has boobs. Maybe I shouldn't do anything about it. You know, maybe I should let her stab me to death. You know, it's like no, like defend yourself. No, this is dumb. It's like I need to go find a woman to puppeteer me so that I can fight this woman who's like trying to kill me. It's like no, that's so stupid. Oh, this video went off the rails. This video belongs in the dumpster. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to destroy this now. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.